My terrible boss had deceived multiple financial institutions and disappeared without a trace. I notified the banks of his new contact information. Am I an AH? Hi guys, welcome to MacReddit, where tales are not just told, they come alive. Today, I have an intriguing Reddit story about a deceitful manager who duped numerous financial institutions. Finally, an employee who was fed up with his behavior exposed his misconduct, leading to his downfall and the ruin of his career. I hope you will enjoy the story, and don't forget to show your love. Your love gives me energy. Let's dive into the story. Mobile phones became common in my country around 2004, just as I finished high school. My parents bought me my first phone, a second-hand Nokia. It was bulky and basic, but I promised myself that someday I'd buy a new phone with my own money. When college started, I had a 2-hour daily commute. In high school, I excelled academically and won several district-level awards. During my first year of college, the awards were being distributed. I received a nationalized bank award that finally gave me enough money to buy a new phone. I purchased a Sony Ericsson K300Y and a premium SIM card, unaware that it had been abandoned by its previous owner. On the third day, I began receiving calls for a person named Bitsa from different financial institutions. It was discovered that the number used to belong to him. To maintain my premium number, I started blocking incorrect calls. At that time, blocking was specific to the device, so whenever I got a new phone, I had to restart the process and maintain a list of numbers to block. After graduating in 2009, I landed my first job. In 2010, I was placed on a challenging project led by a project manager known as Bits, who had a reputation for burning people out. It took me a while to learn his full name, but he took pleasure in making our work lives miserable. Bits ruled with an iron fist. From the moment his team stepped into the office, they were bombarded with urgent emails and messages. Bits thrived on chaos, frequently changing project deadlines and forcing his team to work late nights and weekends. Bits' presence was overwhelming in every task. He micromanaged every detail and took credit for successes, no matter how small. Failures were met with his notorious tirades, publicly berating his team and assigning blame without hesitation. His unpredictable temper kept everyone on edge, afraid to make the slightest mistake. Meetings were another tool in his arsenal of torment. He scheduled them during lunch breaks and after hours, making it impossible for anyone to avoid them. These meetings were usually unnecessary, only serving to assert his authority and disturb his team's work-life balance. The constant barrage of emails from him never stopped, always hinting at the risk of losing our jobs if we didn't meet his high standards. Morale dropped, and burnout became a common issue. Despite all this, Bits seemed content with his power and control. It was embarrassing to discover that he was from my hometown and had attended the same school, albeit years before me. In 2012, our company merged with a parent company. While there were minimal changes in personnel, we gained access to MS Outlook and an organizational view. It was during this time that I first became familiar with Bits from an organizational hierarchy standpoint. His full name, Bitsa, was quite revealing and eye-opening. Now, the name was common enough, but at the time, mobile numbers had an area-specific pattern, so I already knew that the previous owner of my number was from the same area as me. Still, it could be someone else. I wanted to dig deeper. I talked with an old mentor who lived in the same area and had coached several high school students for the last 2 decades. He confirmed my suspicions. I won't go into the details, but it was evident that Bitsa and Bits were the same person. I had been quite upset with this unknown person named Bitsa for almost a decade by then, and Bits had been the bane of my and several others' existence for quite some time. This is where the revenge lies. First, I unblocked all the numbers in my phone. I was receiving an average of 5 to 6 calls daily, but after unblocking about 150 numbers, it increased to 15 to 18. My answering strategy changed drastically. Instead of saying wrong number, I politely explained that the owner had changed his number and provided his current number to update their database. I also volunteered his manager's number in case he tries something else. The fallout was massive. For nearly a decade, these individuals had been searching for him. Banks had offloaded his debts to aggressive debt collection agencies to recoup their money. Shockingly, he had been taking out loans in the names of his wife, parents, uncles, and aunts, using the same information for each. He had managed to evade credit card debt and loans totaling over $200K, a significant sum in our country. It was discovered that he had nearly 20 legal cases pending against him, yet he remained elusive. Perhaps this is why he believed he could escape consequences. There are conflicting accounts of what transpired at the office when his manager began receiving calls about him. He was eventually let go around 2 months later, and there has been no contact from him since. So, am I the AH for notifying the banks about my boss's contact information? I don't think OP is an AH. He did what his boss deserved. What do the Mac Reddit fans think? Is the OP an AH or not? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the stories I brought you, just hit the like button, share them as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to Mac Reddit for a daily dose. Bye bye, see you tomorrow with some more spicy fries.